What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the D.O.G Sports Podcast. Is it a sports podcast?
Yeah, NFL focus.
Football.
Welcome back to the D.O.G Football Heavy Podcast.
We've talked some college football before, high school
And then
football.
you cut it out. And then you cut it out. As always, I'm Drew with OC and German, and today, as you all guessed it, we're going to talk about the NFL. And we're going to talk about other stuff, but then German's just going to cut it out. So
Hell yeah, dude. NFL.
basketball season started yesterday. Let's talk about that. Lakers lost again
Is that it?
We just lost half of our viewers.
to Denver. That's 5 straight losses to Denver.
Yeah, now we're down to 3.
Now we're down to 3 viewers.
1, 2, 3. That's crazy.
You guys don't even like the video. I'm the only one that
No, that's
likes
not true. I like the last video.
I should probably do that too.
Yeah. Okay, Angelique's not gonna watch our video. Paloma doesn't watch our videos. Jess doesn't watch our videos.
Jess tried, and I think she did. She watched a few of them.
I told Angelique, just give us the fucking view. Just put it on for 2 minutes and then you can stop.
I think you have to go further than that.
Give me a little bit of a view and give me a thumbs up and that's it.
Do you give her more than 2 minutes?
Oh yeah, all the time.
Probably not.
All the time. All the time, dog.
I'm gonna have to cut that one out if she's gonna watch.
Well, she ain't gonna watch.
She made it 1 minute in, and she's already turning it off.
She said, one time I listen. Is this what you guys talk about every week?
No. Are you fucking with the audio?
No, yeah.
No, yeah.
You want to turn it up? You can turn it up a little bit more.
Is it good? There? Yes. Oh, okay.
Hey, buddy.
There you
Hey.
go.
Can
That feels better.
Yeah, you like that one?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll give it that.
That feels better for him.
All right. Let's get into it. Let's get into week 7. First of all, let's talk about your guys' favorite game from the weekend.
The Saints and Jags.
Saints and Jags? Really? The Thursday night game?
Well, I just want to point out how bad I felt for Derek Carr after that game.
You really felt bad for him?
Yes, that tight end dropped that ball, dude. It's fucking wide open.
That did suck.
And I felt bad. Like that was a gut punch for me. I'm not a Saints fan. I'm not a diehard Derek Carr fan. Just to see that happen, I was like, oh, damn, dude. Like, you saw him put together the last drive, threw a great little ball in the corner of the end zone, and this guy will fucking break.
Break for hands.
Not even 5 minutes, huh?
Not
Some
even.
ducking break for hands. dude.
Ducking brick for hands.
Just try to use freaking.
Yeah. Off camera, I told these guys I'm going to try not to cuss.
Off camera.
And you guys can see that lasted a whopping 2 minutes.
It's okay. It's hard, dude. It really is.
It's fucking hard.
Jesus.
All right, from here on out, I'm going clean.
Anyways, what would be your favorite game? Let's see.
Well, it wasn't the Dolphins game because that turned out to be...
It turned out to be a slugfest.
That was the ref's favorite game.
Oh, yeah. Was it 10 or 11 penalties to 0?
It was pretty bad.
How do you the teams in the NFL not
Okay,
have
but look,
penalties
I'm not going
called?
to use that as an excuse because Miami could not run the ball against the Eagles.
100%.
So
Hassan Reddick was a game wrecker in the running game.
So once they shut that down, they pretty much knew where the ball was going every time. It was either going to Tyreek or it was going to Jalen.
I mean, I wouldn't say I'd had a favorite game, but definitely I think the most entertaining game was probably the Chiefs and Chargers. And watching...
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
No, yeah. And just watching, I mean, 2 pretty good quarterbacks go after it, even though the Chargers or Justin Herbert just completely folds in the fourth quarter again, right? And so he did it again. Travis Kelce being wide open. I don't know how that happens, right? He's their number 1 target, and he's constantly wide open.
150 yards by halftime.
It was insane. And then that's all I was like, who's going to have more touchdowns? Or what's going to happen more often? Travis Kelce scores, or there's going to be Taylor Swift cutaways, which I think Taylor Swift cutaways won.
There was times where it was a first down for Isaiah Pacheco, and they would cut to Taylor just celebrating. I'm like, what are we doing?
It's getting
here?
out of hand now.
It really is, right?
I thought it was out of hand 2 weeks ago when we talked about it. It's even more out of hand.
And then
CBS is milking it.
And then her with
she's got a fucking dance, the high fives and
with
shit
Jackson
now.
with Patrick Mahomes' wife. Yeah,
That's and then you see Jackson try to force himself into the very end.
He's like, I'm relevant still,
even
though I have assault charges against me, open trial, but I'm still relevant.
I'll give you the exciting game that I watched: the Rams and Steelers.
That was pretty cool. It was a pretty entertaining one.
And that questionable call at the end on 4th and 1.
Oh, with the Kenny Pickett?
Where it looked like he was short, but they gave him the benefit of the doubt.
If that's what you guys think is exciting, I thought the Niners and Vikings game was exciting.
Wow.
It was a slugfest too. I mean, watching Kirk Cousins put 400 yards on our defense, supposedly one of the best defense in the NFL.
It was real easy. Where's Ward? He's gonna screw up. I almost said that on there. He's gonna screw up, throw his direction because that dude screwed up like 4 times in one game.
It was pretty bad. And then, well, honestly, I was talking to OC. It's our defensive coordinator is like, what are you doing?
Yeah, bro.
Some questionable calls.
It was a lot of blitzes.
Well, it was not a lot of blitzes, but a blitz is like in the worst situation, right? Like the blitz right before half. That was dumb. I mean, you had him blitz the entire game, and then all of a sudden, let me put pressure on him on a 3rd and 6 with 16 seconds left to go in the game.
Yeah.
Like, are they really going to get in field goal range and be able to down it and kick a field goal? Probably not.
It goes down to situational awareness, you know?
Right?
So.
You know? And then, I mean, give you Ward, okay, you went to go make a play, but you're one-on-one. Bat the ball down or just make the tackle. Mm-hmm. You make the tackle, you go to half.
One or the other.
One or the other, right? And so that was bad.
He got called twice for illegal contact too, didn't he?
Yeah, one of them was pretty obvious. The other one, it's in that in-between area. I mean, there's illegal contact on every play, just like how there's holding on every play.
I think both of them that were called, they're pretty obvious to me. He stopped the route from happening.
Yeah, because that double move one, the one on
he
Addison.
got called twice,
Yeah.
I think, on double moves.
Yeah,
and that was bad.
But I mean, another entertaining game. What was the game I was going to bring up? The Colts and the Browns was surprisingly entertaining. And then, talk about calls that determine a game. That one was pretty big, right?
Yeah,
those calls at the end.
The pass interference.
The pass interference, and then the
another
illegal
pass
contact.
Interference. Was it illegal contact or pass interference?
The one that took away the fumble when they made Gardner Minshew fumble.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, or no,
there's a lot of
Walker,
ref questionable calls. Like I don't remember the last few years watching these games being, man, they called that, or that's crazy, or they're just some of them are like so far to left field.
There's some now that are starting to make you scratch your head and you're like, what is going on?
Surprises of the weekend?
Mac Jones beating up on Josh Allen. Josh Allen's no longer in my A tier of quarterbacks.
So can we talk about what is happening to Josh? Like, turning the ball over is obviously an issue for him.
But that's been an issue his entire career.
Yeah, but like
he's a guy that has the ability to go toe-to-toe with Patrick Mahomes in a big situation, but he's also a guy that is just like every other quarterback.
No Dable, no coach.
His offensive
coordinator.
I
think he had a big part of when he had that breakout season. I think that was a big reason why. I mean, he's not turning the ball over as much as he was before in the past. Like before, he would have like 3-4 interceptions in a game. I mean, so far he's only done that once this year. But he put the Bills in situations to win.
He's only thrown 3 or 4 interceptions once in the game this year.
I know. Last year he did it a lot more. But he also only has Stephon Diggs, right?
It just seems like everything's kind of improvised. Like
it doesn't look like it's a legit offense.
Yeah, it looks like he's kind of just like ad-libbing as he goes, you know?
When you throw the ball as much as Josh Allen throws the ball, you're bound to throw interceptions, right? The more you throw, the more likely you are to throw an interception. Hit this man a running back where he doesn't have to throw the ball so damn much to take the pressure off of him.
They need to make a big trade. Whether it's
and they just lost Dawson Knox for who knows how long.
Exactly.
Oh, that's his number 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they have that other.
They got to go after Derrick Henry, right? I mean, Derrick Henry is probably the best free agent. The best running back that's on the block, right?
That's what I wanted to bring up.
Or Josh Jacobs.
My next surprise of the weekend: how good the Ravens looked against a supposedly really good team in the Lions, right?
That's true.
The Ravens did everything right in that game.
It was 28-0 like at one point.
And it wasn't because of turnovers. It was like 3 and out, down the field score. 3 and out, down the field score.
Dude, they ran the ball so well.
Lamar looked like a really good
quarterback. So good they ran that ball.
Well, you talk about Derrick Henry to Buffalo, right? Mm-hmm. The one that I was reading today was Derrick Henry to Baltimore.
Oh, God.
And I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Oh,
Derrick
God.
With Lamar in the backfield.
And now you get Zay Flowers going. You Mark Andrews moving around.
Do the Niners move Josh Jacobs?
Or the Raiders?
Or you have the
Ooh,
Raiders.
they could. That'd be another one.
Didn't they just pay him?
They franchise tagged him.
Yeah, they only gave him a year.
Yeah. That's
Oh.
that's another guy that might be. Well, I mean,
And
we'll get to the trades.
okay.
We'll get to the
We-
trades
we
a little
start
bit later.
talking about
Yeah,
Trade
we'll
start
deadline
talking-
is next week.
It's
right?
next
Tuesday,
we
Halloween.
Halloween?
1 week from
Today?
No.
From yesterday?
from yesterday. Yeah. But no, yeah, the surprise performances. That one was really good. The Lamar Jackson one.
Lamar looked really good.
The Mac Jones one. He really put it together, and that puts the Patriots in another situation, right? Because they extended Bill Belichick, right? Or there's rumors of them extending Bill Belichick. And then now they go out. I mean, a lot of people were calling to fire him, and now Mac Jones goes and performs the way he did.
Hey, Bill Belichick, win number 300.
That's another big storyline.
He's only-
Yeah.
Who?
Bill Belichick.
Cares?
Okay.
Ah.
I mean, he's like the only
The greatest coach of all time.
Well, I don't know. Now that he's been losing, it's kind of like
It's kind of sad.
You mean
Um,
kind of like Brock Purdy? Is Brock Purdy an elite quarterback, or does he have a great team? Bill Belichick. Is he the greatest coach of all time, or did he have Tom Brady?
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's very similar conversation.
But
in my
yeah,
opinion.
going back to the surprise performances. I mean, we have to go Kirk Cousins, right?
Yeah.
Prime time?
Yes.
Hey, primetime
That's
Kirk did
my
not show
first
up.
thing that I said I'm not picking the Vikings is because it's a primetime game.
That was Kirko that showed up right there.
He showed up and he balled out.
Kirko Cousins.
Because I know, I mean, we can talk about Brock Purdy a little bit later, but I mean, he did play well enough to at least like keep him in the game. But the defense, when you're giving up 400 plus yards against a Viking offense that
You got no running back, Cam Akers.
last week, it looked like they were going to start tanking, right?
Don't sell out on Alexander Madison like that.
Who's the best running back there? I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I was like. And then Madison, he didn't get that many carries. They
No,
were
he
they were
didn't.
going to
Cam Akers got the most carries, I think, with 10.
They were going to Addison, the receiver,
Yeah.
the rookie receiver, and then no Justin Jefferson there. I mean,
See, I'm telling you, this is not a tank team, bro. This is not a not a.
This
not-
is a team that ends up 8-9 somehow, and like
but that's a
backs into the playoffs somehow.
but that's the thing is that if their defense can figure it out the way that they were able to perform, because the thing is, Kirk Cousins hasn't been playing all that bad this year, right?
No, he's like second or third in the league in yards.
Yeah, he's second.
You want to know
actually.
what I loved the most about Kirk Cousins, this performance, this last game? The amount of hits he took by staying in the pocket and letting that thing rip. There was multiple throws where it looked like he was going to get his head knocked off, and he just stands right there. He lets it go. It's a completion, and sure enough, he's getting his ass picked up off the ground.
It's like you're watching that Netflix documentary in real time.
Yep.
Remember that was like the big thing last year, that he was just taking these monstrous hits, can't keep his body healthy, and but he's like, even Jessica, like, she was like, I can't. It sucks that we have to root against Kirk Cousins because she likes him from the documentary, the NFL, the Netflix documentary.
Oh, the quarterback one.
Yeah, he's a hard guy not to like, right?
You like that?
Right, because he's done everything right in his career. He's never been like arrogant or cocky or anything like that.
My favorite part.
But you like that quote was one of the biggest, cockiest things.
But it looks so unnatural to him, right?
And my favorite part in that series was when they like cut to him at his house and he has like that like trophy room, and,
right?
And like they created a space for the
Super Bowl
trophy, and I'm like, looks like that'll be empty for a while.
Oh,
probably for the rest of his
Is
life.
it when you're a quarterback coach somewhere?
Yeah, I was like, maybe
Oh,
as
there
a coach.
you go.
There you go.
I mean, these guys all go into the league expecting to be like Super
but
Bowl champions. That's why they probably get to the.
Not
level
everybody
they're at.
can win 7, so
That's true. I mean, even to get to 1, man. How many guys have played in 1 and couldn't take it home? Let's talk about some injuries, key injuries.
let's start with yours.
This big one, Brock Purdy, who
Mono Darnold starting this Sunday.
went concussion protocol today, and
Okay. Can I start
Go
off
ahead.
with a question for both of you?
go ahead.
You know my stance already.
All right. So, do you want the tush push banned? Yes or no?
I do, because I think it's just going to continue to lead to more injuries.
No,
Yes. No.
it's part of football. I think it needs to stay.
I think I like it, but if my quarterback gets hit like that, then I'm
Yeah.
gonna be
Then
complaining.
don't
I think
do it.
I think the Players Association is going to step in.
The reason the Eagles do it so well is, one, they have probably the greatest center in all the league right now, and then they have a quarterback who can squat 600, 700 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
That's the reason.
There's a lot of driving force.
I think it wouldn't be a problem if Philly was the only team doing it, but everyone's trying to do it now.
Yeah, and then everybody sucks at it.
And everyone sucks at it. But
Philly's the only one
they're
that
going
does
to keep
it.
doing it because they see that it works.
I would say that there's a lot of bias, or if there's like some fishy stuff, if they actually make a rule against it, being that Philadelphia is the only team that does it well.
Yeah, but I see what you're saying, and I don't think the NFL is going to be the ones to come out and say that you can't do that anymore. I was listening to players talk about injury, and I think the Players Association is going to come forward and say we shouldn't be doing this because you got D linemen and O linemen that are getting hurt on this play for 3 feet in the middle of fucking October.
Play better defense on second down. Play better defense on third down.
That was my thought when Miami kept stopping them on like first and second down. Then they'd give up like 9.5 yards on third down, and then it's 14 inches, and I'm like, oh, great.
Tying up. Right?
You guys should not be doing the tush push.
No,
not with that.
I don't need Tua taking a shot.
No.
So.
You don't want to see the West Side.
The Cowboys did it. We had a bye week, but the week before that, the Cowboys did it, and Dak was short by like a foot. It wasn't even close.
But anyway, Purdy tried it, and then the Monday night game against the Vikings got lit up the first time. Did it the second time. They were able to. Well, he did more like a Tom Brady type of quarterback sneak, right? It wasn't the tush push. They opened up a gap. He was able to hit it. But the first one, he got lit up. And then now he's in concussion protocol today. There hasn't been a player who's come back to play on Sunday week of going into concussion protocol.
Sam Darnold.
So it looks like Sam Darnold. We're going to roll with Sam Darnold.
Just the matchup you wanted to see.
But that also, I mean, I guess the silver lining is here. I mean, it kind of explains those interceptions there at the end. It gives you a little bit of an excuse.
I'm gonna say no on that one.
No.
I think the timing on the first one, the one that was
nowhere, it was just
miscommunication. They're not on the same page.
He had to have ran the wrong route.
if he cuts right, it's a perfect throw.
If he cuts right, we're in the break.
But that second interception, that's a bad throw.
He's trying to do too much.
He's trying to put it in a hole this big. It ain't happening, buddy.
Is that what happens to you?
No.
Anyway.
Come on,
but
bro. Come on, bro.
It was a bad throw to try to go all the way across his body. But
then to clear the linebacker and then the safety over the top, it's just threading the needle.
It was a bad throw. It was a bad throw. He was in a bad situation. They had no more timeouts. I think there was maybe 30 seconds left. You had to go for a touchdown.
Yeah.
You had to
and then had Moody made his field goal, you would only been down by 2.
Yeah.
Right, and then you would just gone to field goal
Moody
range.
cost you guys again, huh?
Again. It's just
I told you the other day. If he's not a rookie
Brett
kicker,
Maher's available. I don't. Why did they cut Maher?
Because he missed 2 field goals against the Steelers.
Dude,
that happens.
I wouldn't.
Hey, I told German the only reason Moody hasn't been cut is because they wasted a third round pick on him. Otherwise, he would cost him last week, cost him this week.
That's crazy. The Cowboys have an undrafted kicker that played soccer in college, and this guy's not missed a field goal yet this year.
Oh wait, jinx him, bro!
I know. Just give him that jinx.
Game's on the line.
At least it's
against the Rams.
At least it's now.
Damn.
At least it's now and not in the playoffs, right?
Yeah.
Dang, Brett Maher got cut the game before he played against the Cowboys.
Played against Cowboys, perfect.
Nice.
Brett Money Maher,
nice.
Gone. He's available for you guys.
So,
but yeah, I see what you're saying. You can't cut a guy that you got drafted in the 3rd round. That's crazy. Yeah. I forgot that they drafted
kickers don't
that
go
guy.
that high.
Maybe that's
why would you ever draft the kicker? In my opinion,
but that also shows of how solid their roster was for the Niners.
That you could afford to draft a 3rd round kicker.
They didn't have any needs right away. Yeah, okay, we'll draft a kicker.
Okay, transitioning. Are you done with that?
No, yeah, that's what I was like. Okay. What other
transitioning into? Well, I guess this isn't injury anymore. Did you want to talk about injuries more?
Was there any other bigger ones?
Tyreek's hip. He might be out.
He might be out. I think he'll come to game time. He might play.
You guys are missing 3 starters on your O-line?
Yeah.
Right.
And then one of them got hurt in the middle of the game in the first quarter.
Oh, yeah. I saw that. Did Connor play?
No.
Yeah. See, I think I sent...
And then Armstead was
after our episode last week, I sent that to you, right?
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this changes things a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only big injury I can really think of. Anything else?
I want to transition. We were talking about...
hold on. Deshaun Watson.
Oh, another big one. That is true.
Is he out? Concussed?
He had a concussion in the game, but
and
then
then they were
somehow
saying his shoulder.
now his shoulder.
He's
He
got
might
like
be
a
out
like a torn labrum in his shoulder.
Yeah.
That is
his
a big
left
one.
shoulder or his throwing shoulder.
I think it might have been his left shoulder.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Oh,
his
all
throwing,
right.
yeah.
Okay, well, you can come back earlier.
I think
with that.
I think it might have been the hit itself because it was a pretty brutal hit.
Yeah,
Like because he pushed and he looked like he was like
he has not been doing jiu-jitsu.
no he
His
went
head
and snapped his head
the
back.
tore.
Tua sent him a text
On the
message.
floor.
I'll trade you your massage guy for my jiu-jitsu guy.
Jesus Christ!
Wow.
But yeah, Deshaun Watson he took a big lick and
I think that's it.
he was knocked out, right?
Yeah, it looked like he
Because
was
like the way
concussed.
his arms were like
Yeah, he didn't
all
come back in the
flailing.
game.
Yeah, he got knocked out. He got fucked up pretty bad.
There's a couple people that had him in fantasy.
No,
Ended up
okay,
with
so-
negative points.
Yeah, negative 2 points
Brutal.
and then left in the first quarter.
Brutal.
That's a tough start for your fantasy. But I mean, PJ Walker's there,
Yeah,
won them the game, right? So it was like,
he's not bad. He knows what he's doing.
do the Browns have a quarterback problem? Maybe
Maybe he could. I mean,
if they keep winning with
they
him.
keep
You know
winning.
who's got a quarterback problem? The Giants.
Yeah,
The Giants. Tyrod
Hey,
Taylor just won a game.
Let me just say we do our homework on this show because we know that Tyrod Taylor has been in the league for 10 plus years. Not like Colin Cowherd's co-host that said, "Oh yeah, there's a quarterback controversy brewing in New York with the young guy Tyrod Taylor."
Young guy?
Yeah, we're like
Young guy?
young guy.
the guy Jason McIntyre called him a young
The guy that had the Vikings just stripped from him because of injury.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Jeez.
And then same thing with the Chargers because remember he was the one with the punctured lung
yeah,
before
and
Justin Herbert
that's
played.
why Justin
He
Herbert
was
got
in
the
Bills.
Buffalo.
He was the Bills before they drafted Josh Allen.
He's a quarterback
He's
journeyman.
he's a bridge guy.
Oh, he's a
Yeah.
bridge guy. So Giants going to be good in a couple of years.
Maybe
Oh.
somebody will sneak up. Maybe
He's like that movie Good Luck Chuck, huh?
Hey, didn't
Yeah,
hey,
right?
Didn't we talk about this last week? Like,
what?
you can't play him though because you're
No,
paying all this
because
money.
you're
to
paying
Daniel
money.
Yeah,
Daniel
we did talk
Jones.
about it, and
Yep.
I did hear some other people talk about it this week too about how can you justify paying
Daniel
Daniel
Jones.
Jones all that money and you have him on the bench.
100%. But
Yeah.
it's very interesting to see that Tyrod Taylor has won the same number of games this year as Daniel Jones. And he's making what, like a 10th Daniel Jones is making?
Yeah,
Very interesting.
yeah.
Hey,
But,
shout
I
out
mean-
to the Division II quarterback from the Bears. that
Oh,
came out.
who came out and
Was
beat,
it
and
Badgett?
beat the Raiders?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Badgett? Yeah.
I've got Raiders employees and Bears employees that work for me. Shit was very awkward this week.
Oh, okay.
Because the
Or
Raider fans
Yeah.
Raider fans are pissed and Bears fans are like, that was kind of cool.
That was cool.
Yeah.
We got a dub.
Yeah.
We don't suck that bad.
We don't suck that much. And Raiders fans are like, dude, this is just spiraling. Got my haircut today. Talked to Castro. Like, hey, you missed Derek Carr? Bro.
How
I
much
miss
longer?
Derek Carr.
How much longer does McDaniel's last?
Well,
there?
that's what I wanted to get into because I was reading that players or anonymous players are now coming out like,
they hate him.
yeah,
They hate
talking
his
about
guts.
McDaniel, talking about his
We
offense.
got to go rebuild.
Yeah.
Apparently, he treated Carr like garbage last year.
Yeah, well,
like,
it's not- it
the
wasn't
hardest
just him.
but he was like the hardest on Carr. Like I
Like-
guess he was like talking shit about him and like during the film sessions and all that.
Like the story, the quote I was reading, like
Uh-huh.
that player, whoever it is from the Raiders, said that like the coaches like basically go into film and just blame the players.
Yeah.
And it's like the player said that like the offense is so outdated compared to like Philly, San Francisco, and
all
Miami.
these guys doing new things.
like the Bears were
Yeah.
calling. They said the Bears players were calling
Tell them
out
to try
plays.
to try to go to Mike McCarthy's offense, see how they like it there.
Right. But I mean, the Raiders were in the playoff team in 2021, and then McDaniel's comes in and does it get worse.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Should
And
have
then
left
they-
my boy Rich
And then
Bisaccia.
same thing. It's
That's right. We talked about that on this show. How
Yeah,
they
we-
should
how
give
they
him an
should have- how they should
opportunity.
have kept
They never did.
Mm-hmm.
Like that guy rallied a team out the ashes and made him a
I mean,
push to the playoffs.
everybody was dapping him up after games. They love the guy
Players coach.
Dude,
He was a
where
players
where
coach.
is he now?
He's a like special teams guy with the Packers, I think.
because he was special teams with the Raiders.
yeah.
But
That's
and then
crazy.
nobody likes Mike McDaniel or not
Josh McDaniels.
Josh
Josh.
McDaniels. No, I
was
think
gonna
he's
say.
the opposite. I think Mike McDaniels.
Okay,
Everybody loves
so-
him.
Do they get rid of the head coach and try to work their way around?
This is a
from
new
there?
GM too, right?
This is a new GM
Because Mayock got
Or-
fired, right?
Or do they rebuild?
They have to rebuild.
You got to sell Josh Jacobs, right? Sell Devontae.
I
mean,
think I don't think anything.
You could get a lot from Max Crosby too.
You know the sad part about this? Their next games is like Giants, Jets. It's like a lot of winnable games.
So he might win.
Well,
some
the Bears
games.
game was supposed to be a winnable
It
game.
was,
Buy
but they
himself
couldn't
some more
win
time.
that. But this is classic NFL. One week you play terrible, the next week you play great.
But it's the thing is like we've seen this story before with Josh McDaniels, right? When he was in Denver, he went in, shipped out Jay Cutler. He was the one that I think was he the one that drafted Tim Tebow?
Yeah, he was in
And
Denver.
then he got fired by the time Tim Tebow won the playoff game.
Well,
Right? He was already fired.
I drafted Tim Tebow too. Tim Tebow's
But you don't
greatest college quarterback of all time.
Yeah.
but you
You
don't
gotta
take
take a
him
shot.
first round. He was like 15th overall or something like that.
Nah, I think I would have.
But I mean, okay.
Tim Tebow is one of the best college quarterbacks.
But either way, he came in, shipped out a bunch of guys like he's doing with the Raiders now. I mean, Hunter Renfrow was a 1,000-yard receiver before he got there,
and now they're trying to shop him.
and now they're trying to shop him. I mean, now Jacoby Myers goes off, even though he couldn't make it with the Patriots, and then now just because Josh McDaniels, he's a former player, brings him in.
Yeah, that's who he's throwing
Yeah,
to. That's
and then same thing with
What,
Jimmy
what,
target rate.
what are the odds? Those are the reads are designed for him.
for Jacoby, and
Yeah.
then
Oh, Devontae's not open.
Yeah.
Just throw it at Jacoby.
Jacoby will be open.
You
Hey
should-
Devontae, we're gonna put you over here where they're doubling you 1-on-1 and a safety over the top. But Myers,
right,
that's our guy.
You're the guy.
And then you ship out Darren Waller, and then you pretty much can't get anything going with Josh Jacobs.
Mm-hmm.
He was the best back in the league last year. Now all of a sudden he's just completely just falling off.
He looks.
It's not a
That's
coincidence.
crazy.
Josh McDaniels, I think he's a snake, and I think he's fooled everybody into thinking that he can be a head coach.
What's the Belichick coaching tree? Right.
trying to
Another
take
guy that just it didn't work out.
trying to
for him.
take the Patriot way somewhere else. I mean, look at Bill O'Brien when he was over at Houston.
and that blew
just
up.
motherfucked everody, like just being a big old
Hey,
asshole.
watch your
my
language.
bad, man. MFing everybody, just being a big
There's
old
kids
a-hole.
watching this.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brian Flores didn't work out in Miami.
Yeah, same thing.
Could have worked out in Miami.
Could've.
There were just differences
But
of
now
opinions.
the stories that I've seen, like
More of the skin color.
Kyle Van Noy went on a show and was explaining how toxic it was between the GM of the Dolphins and the head coach.
Well, tell me, what is Brand Flores doing now?
He's a DC
He's
for
the defensive
the
coordinator for the Vikings.
That's my point.
Yeah.
He's better off.
Yeah.
Sort
the
of.
thing, the thing is when it comes to
Depends.
that GM head coach relationship, it's got to click.
Yeah, it has
If your
to.
team's gonna
Otherwise,
be
it's
successful.
it's not going to work.
It's got to be two guys that are going to get along.
I think the Raiders can afford to sell a lot because they've got a really good running back. They've got a really good receiver. They got a really good defensive end that people would pay high price for, right?
Yeah, especially if you're trying to make a run.
Yeah.
So you completely just sell house and just start over?
I don't think you can sell all of them though. Yeah, you would lose a lot of the fan base as it is already.
What are you talking about losing fan base? They up and move states.
Well,
This fan base has actually been pretty loyal to them.
it has,
It's
but,
I
not
but like
understand
for
that.
I'm
I-
talking about
It's
for
not-
the season.
It's not like
they're
the
just-
Chargers.
Like they're already hanging on by a thread.
Okay, that's why they moved to Vegas because they've already got people that have bought their season tickets and they're not banking on Raider fans coming from California 24/7.
But it turns out to be a home game for the away team every time they show up. It's like LA.
Well, but that's why they moved to
same thing,
Vegas. They're just
yeah.
selling tickets. They don't care which fans are in the seats. They're just selling tickets.
That's sad. And then the Super Bowl's there this year too.
Yeah,
So it's
it's
like,
the MGM gets this much, Caesars gets this much, and they're just giving it away to
They-
executives.
hey,
and stuff
hey,
like that.
Raider fans, we're gonna suck this year,
Yeah.
but hey, we have the
Exactly.
Super Bowl in Vegas.
Exactly.
So don't
I
you
would
worry.
I would say that Vegas has gotten significantly more expensive since the Raiders have gotten there.
Everything has gone up.
Everything has gone up.
Yeah, so saying that you're doing their fan base a disloyalty by trading their best players at this point, you're honestly doing better because now you're going to get a bunch of stuff in return,
Because
a ton of draft picks, some money.
And now, like with them going to Vegas, you invite like the Pro Bowl. The Pro Bowl was there. The Super Bowl, obviously.
That sucks.
It becomes more of a spectacle for the Raiders and their organization instead of focusing on the team.
Yes,
Which I
That-
think
that was the-
Drew makes some good points.
Second-
that's
but-
the biggest disloyalty that they've
Okay,
done.
but the second thing is, do they have enough money to let go of McDaniels? If you're still,
That's
are
the-
they still paying Gruden still, or did
Well,
they pay that off?
that's
already?
that's why I think if you get rid of a lot of these big name guys, you can probably get rid of McDaniels. And at that point, you're down to your roots, your cores, and you can just start from scratch. You're down to nothing.
I mean, you look at all these NFL teams, and the biggest common denominator when it comes to bad franchises is the front office and how bad they are. And I think the Raiders are, unless they get a new owner or unless some regime change, I think they're going to continue to be bad. No matter if they fire McDaniels, maybe they'll get a little bit better. But even if like they trade everybody away and try to restart, unless you don't have the guy in the house who's going to like help you, like a Sean Payton like is doing for Denver, unless you have a guy like that who's going to come in and solve all your problems, I don't think they're going to be any different.
So, somewhat unrelated, the Giants just signed a new manager, right? Bob Melvin. And I'm not thrilled about it because I think he's mediocre. And that the last few days have really got me thinking about head coaches and managers and how teams that have mediocre or average coaches do not win. You can't win unless you have a top tier coach. And you can't tell me that the Raiders players look their coach in the face and say he's a top tier coach.
No.
Because, he's won as an offensive coordinator, but you also off the backs of Brady.
Yeah, and Bill Belichick overseeing everything.
Exactly. And then you see what he did in Denver and then just pretty much turned everybody against him. And he's doing the exact same thing now. Because he was saying, like, when he got this job, he was saying, like, oh, I understood football, but I didn't understand people. And he was like, that was my biggest downfall in Denver is I didn't understand how to connect with people. Well, obviously he didn't learn.
Yeah, he didn't learn.
Because it's the same exact thing. Yeah.
And it's not New England where they can just tell everybody to do it the Patriot way. So
exactly.
Yep.
Now he has to manage everything.
Anyways, anything else you guys want to transition into? I mean, I feel we could go on for
our team's gonna start tanking for Caleb Williams still. Is Caleb Williams the number 1 overall guy now?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
His stock might be dropping.
So with that being said, do teams still have an incentive to tank? Because we talk about the Patriots won a game that they shouldn't have won. Mm-hmm. The Bears won a game that they shouldn't have won. Who else just won a game that I was like, what the hell? What are you doing winning games?
That just won a game that
should
Atlanta?
The Vikings?
Maybe? The Vikings?
Oh, Broncos. Broncos won a game they shouldn't be winning. Mm-hmm. But now you don't. Is Caleb
surprise upset?
Is Caleb Williams that guy that everyone needs to rush the first overall pick for?
All right, they put up that stat right of him against top 25 teams.
He's god awful. I mean, he looks
He'll
like
dominate the bad teams.
Yeah,
and then struggles against the
pretty
good teams.
Because watching their games, dude, it's.
Were you gonna say it? Reminds you of who?
I'm not gonna say it.
Go ahead, dude.
No, I'm not gonna say it.
What up?
Anyways.
No. We're moving.
Anyways, watching him play and watching them, like, their play calling is different when they play against these top 25 teams. And it's just like you can legit tell that Lincoln Riley doesn't trust Caleb as much as we think he does. Mm-hmm. Because, I mean, it's like 3rd and 4, and they're RPOing it. They're like, just hand it off.
Trust their athletes.
Just hand it off. And then just trust that your athletes are better than theirs. I mean,
no throwing touchdowns.
That's what I'm saying. At a certain point, dude, trust Caleb. Let him make a play. But then
Heisman Trophy winner.
That's what I'm saying. But then you watch some of his film, dude. It doesn't look super convincing. I mean, and it's also he's got the USC curse, the USC quarterback curse on his back, and all that other stuff.
He is so good out of the pocket, and he's got the number of clips that you watch to Caleb Williams doing something miraculous. That O-line is just like the Great Wall of China. They're just blocking anything. It leads me to believe that anything should be capable in that offense. But why does he not succeed against top-tier teams? I think it's got to be more than coaching. Because there's too much of a pattern in there. There's too much of a complete drop-off from playing him top-tier teams.
I do think it is. I think it's him. I think he does. And maybe he's losing focus on what's important or whatever.
Maybe he's too cocky and arrogant, thinking that he should own a portion of the team that drafts him.
And also part of it too. I mean, he's a great improviser, but I mean at the same time, you have to be able to do the little things right at quarterback, right? I mean, Patrick Mahomes, give it up to him. He can fucking make something out of nothing, at any given moment. But he also does the small things right.
Yeah.
He could also drive down the field with what Andy Reid is calling him.
Yeah.
And then every once in a while, if it breaks down, then he can do something special. But at the bottom line is you got to do the basics right. And I think that's where we're starting to lose sight of when people are evaluating quarterbacks now. Is now they're looking at the improvising skills. They want a Patrick Mahomes,
when a
Josh
play breaks
Allen.
down? Yeah.
They want a Justin Herbert. But then you get a guy like Tua and you criticize him for doing the basic things right, and then you criticize him again for not being able to pull something out of his butt and put a big old S on his chest, right? And same thing with Purdy. That's why he dropped super low in the draft stock, because he can't come up with.
But
this
that's
big
why the
old
head
plays.
coach matters, because you tailor it to your quarterback.
Right.
You tailor it to the offense that you need. So
to your point, dude, tanking for Caleb, I don't think it's going to be worth it.
I don't think it's worth it.
at this point, like if he keeps playing like that, there's no clear cut number one guy anymore. Right?
No, there's maybe that's
It's just at this point just need. I mean, like Marvin Harris Jr. I think he's a top 5 pick, bro.
he's a dog.
Mm-hmm.
But
He's a dog.
but I mean, it just depends on the team that's there, right? You're gonna have a team that is loaded in the wide receiver room. Do you need this additional wide receiver?
I feel like for whatever reason this year we don't have a lot of in between teams. We have a lot of those like
Ass.
on the bubble teams.
Yeah.
But we have a lot of ass
Complete ass.
teams and then a lot of really good teams. But I mean, who knows? I mean, and then the Lions we thought were really, really good, and then they go and get waxed against
And then
Baltimore.
every once in a while, the ass teams just come up out of nowhere and beat teams.
Yeah.
Any given
Hey, we're just
Sunday.
gonna, we're gonna beat Green Bay.
Everybody all week,
Jets are gonna
that's-
beat the Eagles.
That's
Just-
all I heard last week was how the Lions are the team to beat. The Lions are going to go to the Super Bowl, this and that. And then now all I hear this week is how Lamar Jackson's the MVP, and then they're going to win. They're going to go to the Super Bowl.
Jared Goff was putting up MVP like numbers until he ran into Lamar.
Yeah. And then no one's talking about Jared Goff anymore.
It's a week to week league.
It
So
changes
every
quick.
Sunday. It's like, you get to Monday, you're like, wow, was not expecting that.
Right.
There's always something that raises your eyebrows. It's like, oh,
Right.
that was pretty good, or I was not expecting that.
Right.
That's the great thing about the league. There's so much parity.
Mm-hmm.
It's so consistent.
Well, we sit here and we call teams ass and quarterbacks terrible and whatnot, and you
And
got to
then they turn
realize
around.
these are the top. If you're a starting quarterback in the NFL, you're a top 32 quarterback in the entire world.
And that's the thing is like when people are making like their predictions and stuff, like for example the Bears and the Raiders, and they're like, oh, the Bears are ass, or like, yeah, they're ass compared to the best guys in the
league,
world.
yeah.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, of course they're ass.
But
like
when
if
they
I
play someone equal to them,
exactly like if I hopped on a Master Chef, I'm gonna suck, but I can cook decently.
yeah.
Can you? No,
Like that little girl, that video, the girl eating the spaghetti, like trying to pretend it's good. You never seen
I
that
don't know
one?
what you're talking about.
Man, I'll show it to you guys later. But
I don't watch videos of little girls.
okay. Jesus Christ, Jer.
Cut that out.
Dude, I'm gonna have to just go through all of this and just edit everything.
Segue to this week. What do we got on tap? Let's go through the schedule.
Yeah, let's get some predictions.
Tomorrow night,
going.
what do we got?
We got a game that
The
I
highly
thought would have been
anticipated
boring,
matchup.
but now Josh Allen's going to make it interesting. Bucks and Bills.
How is that game? The Bills have not
What?
done well the past 2 weeks, right?
Josh Allen plays great against his good competitors, and he plays like dog crap against crappy competitors.
But somehow the Bills are 9-point favorites. Like, I'm like, Jesus,
They're at home.
that
It's
much?
just because the Bucks have been super inconsistent this week or this year. I mean, they put on some good shows, but I mean, we're actually starting to show now that Baker Mayfield is being Baker Mayfield
He's
again.
human.
Yeah. It's not like you can just go to another team and then automatically just turn it on and
He's exactly
things
who I
start to
thought he
click.
was.
exactly.
I do see what you're saying, though. 9 points, I think, is a lot.
Especially
I
for
think
what the Bills
I
have
think
done the
7.5 or 6.5 is a
And
little more
then
like
and then
it.
some of the injuries that the Bills have right now.
You lost
and
Milano, your
yeah.
starting linebacker, and then you
You
lost.
lost Knox.
Knox.
Has DeMar played at all?
He was active against the Dolphins, but he only played one play on special teams.
Okay.
I mean, he wasn't that good to begin with. I mean, he was,
Well, I'm just wondering.
yeah. I mean, yeah.
I
get-
do know
get
that
you, I get
they've
you.
talked about that he's probably gonna have to play more because their injuries keep piling up.
I don't think they want to play him though.
Is he there just because of what happened? Is that why he's still there?
Sometimes I think you're just keeping him on the team.
He's
and that's-
he's
Maybe.
the 53rd man.
But it's
Yeah.
at some point he has to contribute, right?
He's like the girl you're trying to break up with, but her dog just died. And
Wow. But anyways, like, does he?
I think
like,
he's the little brother that
'cause
always tags along.
he was
yeah,
You don't want to say, hey, don't bring him.
he was the odds-on favorite to win like comeback player of the year, and now like those odds have like dipped.
Well, because he's not playing.
Yeah, he hasn't played.
But I mean, even like before the stuff that happened to him, he wasn't that great. He was like on and off
he was
the
like
roster.
what, third string
yeah.
safety, like,
And then he had to play because some other guys were hurt. Like, it's just,
I don't know.
I mean, it sucks that it happened to him.
Who are you picking tomorrow?
I think it's Josh Allen and the Bills. I don't trust Baker at all. I don't know if I've ever picked Baker to win a game.
I think it's a bounce back game for.
You think
the
so?
Bills.
This
Yeah.
back-to-back weeks, they struggled against bad teams.
Just don't throw the ball so
They
much,
struggled
dude.
against Tyrod Taylor, and they struggled against Mac Jones. I want to believe that Baker's better than both of those
and they
guys.
also that's all. But they also did lose to Trevor Lawrence.
Josh Allen throwing the ball. Okay, that's because they decided to travel across the world on
Right,
Friday.
right.
That's unrelated, I think.
They gotta do something offensively. And
Is this 3 weeks? So they lost 2 out of 3, right? So
yeah, I think
Jags,
so. The Jags
Then they
Beat the Giants.
beat the
barely.
Giants barely, and then lost.
And then,
So they lost 2 of 3.
Josh Allen should not have to throw the ball 41 times against the Patriots.
No.
They got to get something going on the ground.
Yes.
And then it can't just be him running quarterback
And
power.
so that leads me to believe that he's probably going to throw close to 40 times again against the Bucks, if not more.
But then
That's way too much.
But then the Bucks offensively, if you're not tossing it up to Mike Evans or Chris Godwin, what else do they have too?
I think the Bills win, but this comes down to something. Really
It'll
It's
be
gonna
close. It'll be close.
Okay, here's a good one. Over under 1.5 interceptions.
Over.
Over. So you're saying
I
2
think
interceptions
like total, like or just Josh Allen?
for just Josh Allen.
Oh, under.
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 I'm gonna take over.
I'll take over.
gonna
Todd
take
Bowles is
over.
a good defensive guy.
I'm gonna take over.
And then he's going to be forcing stuff now that Knox isn't there.
Uh-huh.
And they know he wants to go to Diggs. So
Right.
Yeah.
look for Kincaid
You
to have a
shouldn't.
good
You
game.
shouldn't. The
That's tight end.
amount of times that he throws the ball. Like, let's see how many times he threw the ball against the Giants.
Yeah, look up his stats.
Oh, fuck. That's not them. That's gonna take too long.
Another F bomb.
Yeah. Leave me alone.
Wow. He's coming in hot.
It's like a Martin Scorsese movie, dude. We just keep dropping them.
The amount of,
A little bit better against the Giants. He threw 30 times. But he tends to throw the ball like he's always losing. Like that's how many times they're throwing the
He's
ball.
going for
like
he's going for the home run. hitter.
yes. That's been Josh Allen. Like you live and die by him throwing the deep ball, but throwing it so many times is killing your team.
Right.
It's funny. We all say like this should be a close game, and then watch tomorrow the Bills blow them
Just
out
go
by
all
like
out.
25.
Yeah.
And we're like,
But okay, well then who are you picking then?
yeah, Bills.
Bills?
I'm
Okay.
still gonna pick the Bills.
So we're just giving them the D.O.G podcast curse.
Yes,
Yeah.
like we
Like we did to the Niners. Yeah. All right, let's go ahead. Let's move on to the Sunday night game. Highly anticipated matchup.
Oh God.
Bears and the Chargers.
I'm gonna pick the Bears. No, I'm just
I
kidding.
thought we
I'm
talked
picking the
about-
Chargers.
They were able to
these
flex in
games.
games, right? They should be able to.
What else is a good game?
I've heard some people say that they want to get this game flexed too. It's got to be flexed.
Well,
Well,
the
it
Niners Bengals would have been a great game to flex
If-
it to.
if Purdy was,
However,
like, healthy.
Burrow's been crap
Yeah.
and Purdy's out.
yeah.
What other games are in the 1 o'clock window? The late window.
The late window.
Patriots Dolphins. Oh no, that's 10.
No, that's 10 a.m.
Browns Seahawks. Chiefs
Ooh.
Broncos.
Brown Seahawks isn't bad.
I would have gone Ravens Cardinals. I want to see Lamar.
Lamar.
I want to see Lamar play.
Yeah, but he's just gonna beat up on the Cardinals.
That's why. I mean, I think that's why too. Not a lot of people like know.
I probably would have done Chiefs Broncos
because we never
it's
get
gonna
to
be
see
at the Broncos.
we never got to see Lamar play on primetime. Like I feel like he didn't get a lot of primetime games. Like how does Daniel Jones get more primetime games
Okay, how
than Lamar Jackson?
Quarterback.
Raiders
Patriots.
Raiders are getting another primetime game.
Monday.
Exactly against the Lions.
So this is 2 Monday night games and a Sunday
and the
night.
Sunday night game.
Giants
This
have.
ties into Las Vegas.
They're trying to get the attention on the Super Bowl.
Just point it out.
Well, the game's in Detroit, so
Yeah, but
But it's
having the
team from
Raiders
Vegas.
on. Yeah, having
Yeah.
the Raiders on.
okay. Well, let's pick for the Bears and the Chargers.
Chargers.
Look for
Unless the
Eckler.
game is on the line, then Herbert's not winning.
Herbert's
Look for Eckler to run for 145 yards, 2 TDs.
I think Eckler's going to go off. I'm going to go Chargers on this one, too. Damn, another
Oh,
curse.
another sweep, huh?
Another sweep.
We got to be one of it. Or
Well, I'm going to tell you right
Lions
now,
and
I'm
Raiders.
picking the Lions. I think you're going to be different because I know you want to be different.
nah, I'm not picking the Raiders this week.
Okay, so
Not
I think-
after last week.
I'm not picking the Raiders.
I'm not picking. All right. Is
Hey,
this,
two
is
teams-
this,
two
is this the
teams-
first?
We just fucked everybody.
Is this
Hey,
the first time on this show?
But this is like, two teams that got embarrassed last weekend. So, they're going to come out.
Try to come out hot. The Lions, I'm trying to come out hot. I mean, the Raiders, still with no Jimmy G. They look bad, dude. I can't. It's hard to pick the Raiders
Yeah.
because I know the Lions. Yeah, they get waxed and they're trying to bounce back, but it's hard. It's hard to pick the Raiders right now. They might prove us wrong. Who knows? All three of these teams might prove us wrong.
There's actually a lot of good games this week.
I think if any curse was gonna hit, it's probably gonna be the Bills. Maybe the Bucks have.
Yeah, I think it's the Bills.
I think the Bucks have a
Bills will
bigger
lose to
chance.
the Bucks.
Yeah.
If we're talking about breaking the curse.
So all three primetime games are all going the same teams.
Yes.
Bills.
Bills,
Chargers,
Chargers,
Lions.
Lions.
There's
If one of those teams loses, guys, I'm sorry. Like to whoever's cheering for that team.
Don't follow our picks.
Yeah,
Oh wait, Coach McKinney is not going to be happy with
No.
us.
we picked the Bills. Yeah,
Yeah.
and he's not gonna like that.
You also got Jets and Giants this week.
Ooh.
You got Vikings Packers. You've got Patriots Dolphins. You got Cowboys Rams. Niners Bengals. Chiefs Broncos. There's actually a lot of really good
The
matchups
Rams
this week.
Cowboys. I think that would have been the good one to flex. I think that would have been the one.
But it's in the early window.
it's at 10
I
a.m.
just
You can only
realized
flex
that.
1
It
o'clock
just
window.
frustrated me.
Yeah, you realize
You gotta
it's a
wait.
I
10
just
a.m.
realized.
game?
I was like, God,
You got to
damn
wake
it.
up early.
Gotta wake up early.
Yeah,
Well, you got the
welcome
end
to
of- you got
watching
the-
the Dolphins for the last 30 years of my life. Waking up
10
at
Waking up
10
early.
a.m.
Well, Cowboys typically play at 10 o'clock unless they're playing a West Coast team at 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
Or their game of the week.
You have
Or
the
the prompt time.
You have the Sunday ticket, right?
I do, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, same.
But half
But it
half
should
of the
be-
Cowboys games
it
are like
should-
in the afternoon.
Yeah,
anyway.
it should be. This one should be on local because it got
The Rams.
LA.
It's the morning game. Yeah.
So your morning games are Jags and Steelers, that won't be here. Eagles, Commanders, that won't be here. Green Bay, Pack and Vikings, that won't be here. Falcons, Titans won't be here.
They won't flex
They'll
it.
probably CBS will probably put on Dolphins, Patriots. And you
Oh,
got,
yeah.
you got
Yeah,
Saints,
yeah.
Colts, Texans,
Yeah.
Panthers, and then that's it. So Cowboys, Rams will probably be on local.
It'll be
TV.
on local TV. All right. Anything else you guys want to add? Any fantasy advice? Any closing thoughts? Anything like that?
Hey, I gotta give it to you. You've really worked the waiver wire really well this year.
I had no choice to.
You
Yeah.
because I was looking at your team today and I'm like, these are some guys, but then I realized these are all waiver wire pickups.
Yeah, a lot of them were.
because there's no way you drafted these guys. Like
I
you've
mean-
got Gibbs. You didn't
That
draft
I
Gibbs.
dropped.
OC dropped
Yeah,
him.
yeah, and then you also have you got Laporta.
No,
No,
Nick,
no,
Nick
no,
has
no.
Laporta.
I remember going through your roster and we're like, there's like 3 guys on here that are top 12 in their position and they're all waiver pickups.
Yeah, I have to look at it, but yeah. So I've had no choice, and that's honestly been all my fantasy leagues where I've started off like losing in the beginning, and then I've made moves on the waiver wire, and I'm putting a few games together.
One of my league doesn't have a waiver wire. It's a 12-man league, and it's just you
A free
can
for all.
yeah at any point,
So in
anytime.
the middle of a game, someone goes off. You can just pick
You
them.
just pick
Well,
them
no,
up.
they're locked in. Just
Oh.
at like, but there's no like Tuesday night waiver wire.
But like the night of the games, you can like
So
drop.
right
Oh,
after
yeah.
the Monday night game, like you can start picking.
oh yeah,
That's actually pretty sweet.
that
you
was
just
in
got-
a league like that
you
one
just
year.
got-
It was wild.
you
it's,
just gotta be
it's
quick
tough,
on it.
dude. I told you about this when they announced they signed Hunt in Cleveland. I woke up at 5:30 and I got the news and I looked and someone was awake
So
before
he was
me.
already. He
He was gone.
Yeah.
It's tough, but then like the other day, like yesterday, I went on there and I made like 5 moves, and it just immediately all right,
quick.
it's added
It's
to your
quick.
team. All right, drop from your team, added to your team, dropped from your team. That's kind of that's tough. I've made so
You gotta
many
be
moves.
on your
So
I've
that's a
probably
wild west
it's
of
12
fantasy, dude.
12 man, no waiver. I think I've made probably like 12 different transactions already. Just adding, dropping, adding, dropping. I've gone through like every Arizona running back on my bench so far.
Who's the guy who's behind Carner? What's his name?
DeMarcado.
DeMarcado.
Yeah. I
But
had
then
him
there's
for a while.
another
Dropped
one
him.
that took more of the carries 2 weeks ago.
I can't trust Arizona.
No,
the
not
running
right now.
back room now. Right now, no.
Everybody was thinking that they were going to go ahead and like turn it on. Like, oh, they're not going to tank just because they beat the Cowboys and they put up a couple good fights. But then they've completely just.
Well, Kyler's going to come back in a couple weeks, so
Would you bring him back though?
they are. They're not taking, obviously.
When does James Conner come back?
No idea.
What are the standings right
Yeah.
now?
They're in last place, dude.
Yeah, they're.
But where's the wild card guys at? The last place person in the wild card. So it's 4, 3. 3 wins is the last place of wild card right now.
Right.
That is only 2 games ahead of Arizona.
At any moment, you could just turn it on. That's true.
You get Kyler Murray and James Conner back. You're a pretty decent team now.
But they lost Zach Ertz for a while now.
It's a while.
Zach
yeah.
Ertz slightly overrated.
Yeah.
Trey McBride's pretty good, so they'll be fine.
Their
Yeah,
defense is still horrendous.
We've talked about this before. Tight ends, you have your elite 3, your good 5, and then everything after that is you're a placeholder.
It's just like whatever.
You're
Yeah.
a placeholder. Ask Derek Carr about his tight end right now.
Oh,
I think we'll end it on that one, dude. That was good.
Okay.
All right, man.
All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. Hopefully we didn't jinx these teams. Hopefully Coach McKinney's not too upset with us because he's a big Bills fan. All right, everyone. I'm out. Peace.